Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking today's Dreaded Heroes report. You know, I usually come on here every day. Been slow news days lately, but whenever I got the news, I'll be on here with it, so just hang on. I know you're not upset if I'm not on here. I miss a date, I'm sure. Hey, this was sent out by the USA Network following a release says celebrating 20 years of Monday Night Raw with The Rock. Celebrating 20 years of roaring WWE Raw action with a special anniversary episode featuring The Rock Johnson. Superstars and diva in the World Wrestling Universe going to be taking stage for live to confront thousands in attendance at the Toyota Center, Houston, Texas, and the millions watching at home. WWE's Monday Night Raw continues to be the most watched regularly scheduled year-round program on basic cable television and recently celebrates its 1000th episode. Of course, the Superstars is going to be there. It's going to be, of course, Cena, Lee, Bryant, Kane, Miz, Eve, Ryder, they say. And contrary to some reports that, I don't know if you've read this anywhere, that El Generico has signed with WWE. PWI Insider, they said Generico's not signed with the company yet and is currently undergoing WWE's rigorous physical examinations before he's offered a contract. In the past, they've had several issues that led to WWE sightings being delayed, like with Cassius Ohno, Daniel Bryan, and negotiations broke down with Nigel McGuinness a long time ago pending results of a medical examination, so they want to get all this stuff out of the way. I seem like I'm tilted, don't I? Let me see if I can straighten that up some. Hang on. I'll use my phone. There. Do I look better? Or should I do this? Alright, Randy Orton and Cesaro will be taking place next week on WWE's main event. And because they've done the DX reunion so many times, WWE officials are now discussing doing, and believe it or not, an Evolution reunion. That's alright. Possibly on the 20th anniversary of Raw next week, with Triple H, Flair, and Randy Orton already in the building. Main issue is trying to get Batista to come back for one night. One night. Money's there. He'll be back that night. Or if he's promoting a movie, maybe. Regarding The Rock's winning the WWE title from Punk, there was a lot of talk that the title change wouldn't happen at Royal Rumble. Instead, Rock could win it at Elimination Chamber in an Elimination Chamber event. Word is also Triple H has been moving, his move and more signings are coming. That's for developmental. Two of the potential signings are Adam Cole and Sami Callihan. Both have tryouts with WWE scheduled between now and the end of January. They've been on Callihan for a while. Success with guys like Ambrose, Rollins, and Punk, Bryant, all cause different feelings within WWE that when it comes to talent coming through the indies, good deal. And also talent that doesn't have to look size and physique-wise. That used to be the first thing that WWE did look for, or at least Vince did. And WWE is going to be looking at several potential new talents in the developmental next few months. So better get yourself together over here in the developmental. And several people under the impression that Ricky Steamboat's angle with Santino and Wade Barrett deal on Raw was being done to introduce his son Richie Steamboat to the main roster. However, sources kind of reported on Tuesday that they're talking about changing Richie's name before bringing him into the main roster. Richie may be finishing up his time in NXT real soon. So I don't know whether they'll refer to him as Richie or Steamboat or that guy, and Ricky Steamboat's just managing. Who knows? As noted, top 4 matches at WrestleMania 29 are booked and not likely to be changed. This isn't confirmed, but 4 of the matches should be The Rock versus Cena, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, Sheamus versus Randy Orton, and Punk versus The Undertaker. We'll see how that goes. Rest card's kind of still up in the air. building. And Del Rio won the World Heavyweight title from Big Show this week because they wanted to shoot Del Rio up as a new Latin babyface superstar since Rey Mysterio is not around. And Sin Cara has kind of been categorized as a disappointment. Cara's actually ready to work this week, but just wasn't used. The idea is to push Del Rio harder than Mysterio and Cara with the hopes of making a genuine Mexican draw out of him. This was actually the original idea with WWE when they brought him up a few years ago. I remember them mentioning that, but Sin Cara, him being a disappointment is not true. He's been injured, yes, and the communication between the universe, the fans, and him just ain't there like Ray is. Hang on a second. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Here's my little Mexican friend. Hey, anyway, talk of Del Rio winning the title originally was planned for Raw, but wasn't there due to personal reasons, so they moved it to Tuesday's SmackDown taping. Last man standing stipulation was added to the match on SmackDown so Del Rio could survive tons of punishment before coming back to win the title. And as no referral, Shawn Michaels, he's going to be appearing tonight at NXT tapings down Full Sail, and Kevin Nash says he will be visiting too. Nash says going to NXT taping to hang out with Triple H and HBK. Got my Christmas gift a little late, but super stoked to see my buds. Yeah, he don't live very far from there, I don't think. As noted before, Eve Torres and Caitlyn as Lumberjills match for WWE titles likely to be added to the Royal Rumble. This would pay off the finish on Monday's Raw and make sure all the Divas get a Royal Rumble payoff. And Big Show versus Alberto is a rematch for the world title being planned for the Rumble, and possibly that match may happen with some kind of stipulation on that too. Maybe his Ricardo will have to stay out of the ring or something, or hanging on a rope above the ring. Hey, with WWE making a switch to Alberto as their top Latin babyface, there's talk that they've kind of given up on Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara in the role. Planned match between Sin Cara and Rey WrestleMania 29 may be off. They're still trying to figure out world record deal, but and women's wrestler Davina Rose has reportedly reported to Developmental and was in attendance for last night's NXT's taping. Well, no, it was a live event, I guess. I don't think they taped it. Anyway, main event of last night's NXT was Riley Pierce teamed with Trent Beretta to face off against Dolph Ziggler and Brad Maddox. Riley, by the way, is Dolph's brother. That little clip is on the internet if you want to check it out. Last night's show in Kissimmee was a packed house. AJ bragged on Twitter that they brought in more fans in attendance than Punk did when he appeared there last year. Speaking of Beretta, he apparently knocked down part of the stage during his entrance on an accident. He tweeted, "Displayed my strength by knocking down half the stage on my entrance last night. Everyone really seemed impressed, except the people who put the stage together." And let's see, WWE's new training facility in Orlando area is said not to be that far from being completed, I guess, and it's reportedly fit 5 different wrestling rings inside of it. Hell of a deal. Bret Hart, he was contacted about appearing on next week's 20th anniversary of Raw and was willing to come in if there was a reason to come. Basically, Hart didn't want his role on the show to be trivialized, and him just be, one of the few dozen guys to make a simple, cameo appearance. His feeling is that he was going to be on TV. There should be a good storyline reason. Yes. Of course, I don't know whether the Developmental can come up with something like that. He's been coming up with too much lately. Anyway, one top star that won't be at Raw's anniversary is Brock Lesnar, unless they take a last-minute change. But Lesnar has nothing scheduled with WWE in January. All the dates this year is planned out well in advance. All right, WWE the officials anyway, recently have reevaluated the status of Mark Henry and Christian. Henry can return soon, but nothing is 100%. And Christian's still scheduled to be back at the end of January. And there's talk of bringing back the Raw Russian Roulette, or not Russian Roulette, the Raw Roulette gimmick, maybe January 28th from Vegas. We all just love that, don't we? Some of the attendance figures to run out the last part of this news. Raw, January 4th, Pensacola, Florida, 5,000 fans, $160,000. SmackDown, same day, in Puerto Rico, drew about 4,000 for $140,000. And Raw, January 5th, in Columbus, Georgia, drew about 6,500 fans, $185,000 gate. SmackDown, same day, in San Juan, drew 7,000 fans, $300,000 gate. Raw, January 6th, Tallahassee, Florida, drew about 3,500 fans. That must be just house shows, for $120,000 gate. Hey, that's about all I got so far. But check back in. I'll let you know if anything weird goes on, and I gotta go.